Crafty Nana is in her happy
Good
place.
afternoon from the Crafty Nana. Crafty Nana's at her desk, and I just thought I'd show you all the fiffing and faffling that I'm doing this week. As you know, it's a movable feast. I'm always doing something, always fiddling with little bits, and today is no different. So, last week I brought this cicada wooden carved cicada that I found in China to life by making it into a necklace with this huge, big, juicy polymer faux amber bead, and then I added a whole load of other beads and made it into a nice wooden necklace. I thought, being me, I can't stand having necklaces that don't have earrings, so I thought, well, I'll make a couple more faux amber beads that would match up to the centre bead. Mixed up the polymer with a little tiny bit of orange in it, a little tiny bit of cream in it, just so that it gave it little sort of colour variations. And then I thought, well, I'll just make a few more whilst I'm at it. Then I'll make some with mixed colours, and I dug out all the odd glass beads that I had sitting around, of which there are copious amounts. I've only got one of these left with the spots on. I've only got one of these beautiful stripy ones left, and one of these orange spotty jobbies, and one of these yellow spotty jobbies. I've got a couple of vintage faux amber, and I thought, right, well, I'm going to finish. I cut out these lovely wooden beads from a necklace that was all in bits, and it's got quite a lot of other beads in there, so I'm going to sit and cut all these out, and then I think I'm going to thread up a bead necklace and make a pair of earrings to go with my cicada. I might be tempted to have a look at the mould I made of the sleeping cicadas and see if I cast them to look like wood, or painted them to look like wood, whether I could make little wooden cicadas with the yellow amber beads. It might be one of the ways I go with that. So that's one project. Now another project is, I had a beautiful piece of carved Victorian jet, and this is in the form of Lily of the Valleys. This would have been a memorial piece, memento mori, and it was on this bead necklace, and as you can see, it's disintegrated, which is a real shame. But I'm going to save the beads at the top. I'm going to save the beads at the ends. I might even keep the old, it's almost like a watch clip on it. But I've recently found in Jalan Jalan Japan these beautiful vintage, we call them Parisian glass, but I suppose Parisian glass is basically mock jet. But these have got some age. They're not as old as the original piece, but what I'm going to do is, I can't really fix the thing, because the design is literally a string of these little tiny beads that's then wound and round, so it's very difficult to get the tension and everything. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make this into the necklace for the beautiful Lily of the Valleys. I'm almost having a tempted thought of actually dropping this original ball down a little bit further and having another ball in there, because there's some in the original necklace, and making it even more interesting. That's another project, and it's happening. I'm doing that one. This one, I'm very pleased with how this one came out. Someone had given me a choker, and it just had one blue feather on it, which was very uninteresting. But I used the same stuff that I used to sparkle my shoes, and I gilded in blue a wooden bead, and then because it picked out the dichroic glass. This is such beautiful colours. So this is one I've made myself. I used an earring to loop through, and I think this is now really interesting. I did make little earring pieces, these little squares of dichroic glass. I don't know if you can see them. They're very sparkly, very pretty, and they match up to this piece here. And there's two of them. They're not perfectly symmetrical, but you know, that makes it almost more interesting. And I think these might have dangles. And I've also made this piece, which has come out quite interesting too. Now, I can't decide quite how I'm going to go about this, but I think I'm going to have it as a brooch this way and then have dangling beads coming down off it. I think that will be quite interesting. I mean, it would make another one of these, but I think we've got one. We don't need another one. So I'm thinking this is going to be a brooch, and it's going to have lots of beautiful dangly beads. And again, my daughter just so happened to turn up with a bag full of these beautiful green iridescent beads from Jalan Jalan. So some of these will probably be going onto the dangles. What would we do without it? I mean, what would we do without Jalan Jalan? I mean, life would be much, much sadder. So I'm sort of playing with lots of little different dingly bits that I might add on. It's all happening. I painted up my other bug ring. I'm not entirely happy with him. But I give him a little pearls a hole because there's pearls in the necklace. So we'll see how that one works out when we try and wear it. It might not be practical at all with those long pincers. So that's quite a few things to play with. I've got this one. I modelled this the other day and I just felt that it doesn't hang quite right. So I'm going to take this and play with it until I can get it to hang right. Because I really like the colours. I like the tassels on it. But I just don't, it flips and I need it to not flip. Now, also the last time I was filming, my husband got a little bit gung-ho with the giant light that we use to light the room when we're filming. And he managed to knock a whole load of stuff off, and he broke picture frames, he broke jewellery, broke everything. So I've got this one that has the big beetle on it to mend as well. But I've actually got one more piece of this that I found. So I'm going to try and add that in because it was a little tight. And I think if I could make it one piece longer, I think it would be actually a lot more comfortable to wear. So that's sitting there waiting to be mended as well. Really quite a lot of things to do. On top of that though, it's my pencil case. On top of that, I had a dress that I've been altering. Again, my daughter bought it for me. And it's very cute, and I think I know why she picked it up. She picked it up because it was beaded all around the neckline and she couldn't resist it. But it was a little bit too short and too small on the bust. So I've added in at the sides and lengthened the straps to make it long enough. But I thought rather than just lengthening the straps, I saw some inspiration on necklaces that were all made up of flowers and beading. So I've started putting flowers and beading the straps on this dress. And because the dress is floral all over like this, I think it's going to work very well. Go to the other side as well. Quite pleased with it. How cute is that? So I'm going to get on with that as well. Because, God forbid, I should have 5 minutes doing nothing. I mean, that would be reckless to say the least. My brain might erupt or burst or something if I didn't keep myself completely and utterly busy all the time. Oh, I've just noticed a head. I don't know who he belongs to. Sometimes I get bags full of bits that haven't got their heads, so I shall put him somewhere. It's obviously come in a bag of something, the beetle head. So I shall look for the rest of him and see if he's somewhere that he can be rescued. So I've got other things I'm still working on as well, but this is what I need to get on with today. And as it's my day with no students, I shall get on with it. Sometimes I don't show you what I'm doing, and I'm just fiddling away, like making little beads and stuff and putting little bits of things together. But I try to sort of like save them all up and like show them in a big group like this if I can. It's difficult though, because I think in the old-fashioned days we'd just describe this as scatterbrained. It's always the next shiny thing, the next thing to get onto, the next thing to make and play with and do. So there's always a pile, and I see something out of the corner of my eye and I get distracted. And the other day, my daughter and I found these in Jalan Jalan Japan, these beautiful Christmas decorations. They're all embroidered, they're all beaded. And I decided that they just had embroidery thread across here in a sort of slightly darker red. I decided they needed to be jewelled. So I jewelled them. And then when I finished them, I actually thought, do you know what? I'd love to make a whole sort of neck piece with this as a centerpiece. I get the padding out of it and back it with something that, you know, and then make it come up round the neck. So that's what I mean by I'm sitting here and I'm supposed to be getting on with all this stuff, and then something whispers to me from the side. So you want to do this? You'd like to play with this? Come on, let's make that. And it happens. I just put down what I'm doing and I start doing something different. Not to mention that on top of that, I've got students going, oh, I need to make such and such today for school, or I need to do so and so, or I want to do such. So I get stuff out for them. And I find something that I haven't seen for a while, and I think, oh, I could do something with that. And hence a new project starts. It's crazy. And I've just had a friend contact me and say, oh, I've got some art stuff to bring you round. I'm going to come and bring you some more art stuff. And I'm like, oh, lovely, thanks, great. And you know there'll be half a dozen things in there that I'll then have to play with immediately, and everything else that I'm doing will get put to one side. And then I've got bags of things that have been waiting for ages, like this bag. I said I was going to do this. I still haven't done it. This is my beautiful French beads. So, without any further ado, I am going to turn off this camera and I'm going to do stuff. I'm going to get stuff done, and then I'll show you what I did get done. I hope. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this, please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Bye for now.